Okay, take four, Cory. Now, you said you were born into the business. And tell me about how you were born into the record business.
Oh, well, my dad, when he first started off, I was only a few years old, and he took us out to California. He had priorly went out to Los Angeles and did a pilot for a TV show back in the 60s. This is dating myself, but it was for
Hey,
I
I'm there with
Spy.
you.
It was for I Spy, and he was supposed to have Bill Cosby's role.
Okay.
Anyways, that fell through, and he came back to New York, and we were moving back out to LA, and I was about 4 years old, and my uncle had a group called the Vibratos, and Cory Wells from Three Dog Night was in that
Huh.
band. My dad said he was moving out there, so they all wanted to go out to California. And my dad said, hey, if you're going to make it in the music industry, it's happening now.
Right.
The Beatles are coming in, everything else was just happening at that time. So we wound up going out there, and the Enemies wound up doing very well. They wound up being on the Beverly Hillbillies, Riot on Sunset Strip, on those movies,
Wow.
classics of the 60s.
Wow.
Bonnie Bramlett came out at that time from Bonnie Delaney and Friends, and she did Superstar, which Ruben
Sure.
Studdard on American Idol, it was his debut and his first release off his album when he won American Idol.
Right.
She wrote that. She was my babysitter when I was younger.
Wow.
So all of these people, Glenn Campbell was doing sessions at the time. Frank Zappa and the Mothers were playing at the Whiskey A Go-Go. At the time, the Enemies were huge. They were the first long-hair band in Los Angeles. They came there just before the Beatles did.
Right.
And they got a house gig at the Whiskey A Go-Go that just broke open. And
Wow.
nobody had a house gig over there. As a matter of fact, Frank Zappa and the Mothers did the nights off when the Enemies had it off.
Wow.
Well, after a while, I grew up in that era.
Right.
Smoking in the Boys' Room was written by Brownsville Station. My dad was involved with a few people that were working with them at the time. He had done some reviews in Buffalo on them as well.
Well, that's really, because a lot of people don't know, and like I've told people, I've made unknown stars into superstars,
Yeah.
where I've taken talent like Rachel Lampa, put her on Jenny Jones, and now she was with Dove Records, and Little J from Hollywood Records and Disney made him #1 in CD sales. And I found out last year, Allison, the rocker that was on American Idol, she was my gal that was 7 years old that I got going in Hollywood, and her mom says, Reese, where have you been?
Yes. Well, see, this goes to show
Exactly.
people that want it. If you don't take defeat, and if you really want something, you will hone your craft.
You bet.
You will hone your craft, and you will make your opportunities happen.
Right.
If you're waiting for them to fall from the sky, it's like buying a lottery ticket.
Right. Right. Okay, we're going to go into the next clip. This is really interesting because you have a new artist named Sun that we're going to
Yes.
talk about with Majestic, and it was very cool. So I'm going to take this clip and we're going to load it up and get back to you in just a moment.